Sorry, I had been interrupted on my first video because I thought it was my customer who was walking up to their house, but it was their neighbor, equally creeped out because they're like, "Who's this lady we never see in our neighborhood?" So anyway, yeah. So I mean, anytime I've gone to organizations that I try to better. Obviously, they see I stick out like a sore thumb because I'm doing my job and I do my jobs well. Anywhere I go, it's almost non negotiable. I must do well. I must do better than well. So I do it. But when you do well, you make the others uncomfortable. What do the others do when they're asked for feedback? I mean, what on earth makes an owner of a company think that others will give them honest feedback if the others do not benefit from positive feedback? I don't know, maybe I'm just being cynical based on past experiences, but I've been, and like me, if you're anything like me and you've been in part of corporate America or the professional lifestyle for any amount of time, you will have learned the hard way that not everybody is good and not everybody is kind. And a lot of what people do is horrible because they're thinking about themselves. A lot of times, I remember when I first started, I had graduated college. I went to a law firm, a criminal defense attorney, and everything was good, but I ended up working in solar. I didn't know what solar was, and my first job in solar was as a marketer over the phone, basically a telemarketer, making phone calls. Well, at that job, I mean, I was fresh out of college, so I was very used to dressing professional. I mean, I worked at a law firm too, so to me it was normal to put on professional clothing. So I go to this solar company. I will leave nameless. And the women in there are, they're not dressed bad. They're just comfortable. They're in jeans and t-shirts, and I guess that was the okay standard at that time for them. But I remember one of the women saying to me, "You don't have to dress that way," in a very mean way. And I was like, I know. I mean, what's wrong with that? I want to. I'm just saying. It was just not nice. And then, all the ways that I would make phone calls, well, I would make 10 phone calls. They probably made 2. Had a snack, went to the bathroom, bullshitted around, chit-chatting with everyone, and before you knew it, it was their lunchtime. So I don't know what it is in me, but I see that kind of stuff and it irks me. I'm just like, are you kidding me? I'm also not a tattletale to say, hey, Mr. Boss, look, so-and-so did this and I did this, because I don't want to do that. I figure, to each their own, as long as it doesn't affect my work. And I was doing really well until they started to look for ways to hurt me. I remember I would leave so stressed out from those jobs because the women would click up and link up and they were so mean to me for nothing, I'd go home crying almost every day from that job. But I'm a firm believer in that God, in time, puts everyone in their place, and he did, because over time all those women, one by one, quality of their work was zero. It wasn't there, and they all got fired. I remained. Not only did I remain, but I became best and recognized for it, and I had awards. That's part of what I strive for, not just the recognition, but knowing that I was the best. You could say I'm somewhat of an overachiever. A lot of people would say that. I don't see it that way because it's just my personality to feel like I could be better and I could be doing more. But yeah, and then anywhere you go, even when I went to work for a quote unquote family members organization, I get there and I'm given a vague role there with, here's a few things you'll be doing and here's who you'll answer to, and this is what you'll do, and so I do it. But then when I'm there, the person who's supposed to train me is like a total train wreck, right? So I don't know, it was just a mess. And even then, I see things that could be improved, I try to improve them, and I'm shit on for doing that. Why? Because it upsets the status quo. It puts a ruffle in everyone's feathers. It's a squeaky wheel. Keep in mind, people, nobody likes a squeaky wheel. Whether you have good things you're saying, hey, I want to do this because it's going to better the company, or if you're complaining, oh, look what's happening. Nobody likes a squeaky wheel. Nobody hates it more than business owners and managers. Why? Because it's just more work for them. You just gave them another thing they got to do, another thing they got to sort out. And it's sad to say, but it's the truth. I remember I had spoken to a pastor who told me the reason he started his church was because when he saw so many things in different churches that he didn't like. Not just that he didn't like, because it's not all about what you like, right? It's about what's right and wrong. And he saw things that were wrong. He said, he saw things that were not true, not genuine, not good. And so his advice from his pastor was, well, this is telling you, it's a huge indicator that you should start your own church. And that he did. And it wasn't perfect, but I'm sure at least he had that freedom to do what he wanted to do. And think about it, professional people. Think about it. If you're a young professional, when you attach to a company or go to work for a company, it is not your dream. It is not your machine. You're in the dream of somebody else. For example, the company I work at now. It is not my dream, it's their dream. This is someone else's vision, dream, and it's their baby. I'm just attaching to it. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Martin Luther King had a dream, right? And everybody loved it, and we made it our dream too, for equality. And there are good dreams that you can attach to that are not, it doesn't have to be originally from you. That's what I do. I look for companies that represent what I believe in. And then I say, I can believe in that. I can support this. I can be part of that. But if it's obviously not something I believe in, then I won't join. But what's scary, what's I guess you could say what sucks, for lack of a better word about it, is what sucks is that it's not your dream. It's not your baby. It's not yours. So no matter how many good things you see room for improvement everywhere. Sometimes I feel like I have like this big highlighter in my eyes when I see things, or in my mind. Okay, I can highlight that can be better, that can be better, that can be better. My style isn't to drill down on people either, like, hey, you're doing a shitty job, do this. My style is, given the opportunity, I think I could improve a lot of departments, because it's a matter of becoming friends with those people, genuinely. None of my connections are fake. The reason why I do so well in sales is because I make it real. My hello, how are you to my customers isn't fake because I'm there for money. I really mean that. I really mean everything I say. I really mean everything I do. So, obviously, if I see room for improvement in a department, if I were given the chance and the opportunity to improve it, like, okay, Ruby, you see that problem? We're going to trust you enough to fix it. Let's figure out a way to fix it. I would first of all have a plan. Then I would talk with those people and say, guys, this is now the goal. You're doing great. However, this can be improved. Do you agree? I'm pretty sure everyone will agree. Everybody is going to have their own say-so. Everybody's going to have their own, well, this is what's going on. Because at the end of the day, when you look at a company, that's one of the hard parts too. And I sympathize and empathize with that, because being a company owner, it's not easy. I understand the pressure, but this is all the more reason to lean on people like me who want to help. Because here's what it is when you're a business owner or a leader in any organization. You're dealing with a lot of different people, and each and every single one of those people has a need. They have an expectation of their workplace. They have a mental space that they are in, and they have complaints. Everyone will tell you, they can, I'm sure every single person can tell you something they love about their job and their role, and they can also tell you things that aren't working for them. Sometimes I see I call it the quick owner greeting when they come by, and it's just like, hey, how's it going? But they don't really want to know how it's going, because if you go up to them and say, well, there's this going on, and well, we had this, and it's like, oh shit, they didn't want to hear that. They almost avoid the interaction because they know their employees are going to come up to them with some little things. Or unless your employees are so emotionally aware and they understand that about you, that they just give up altogether, which both are not a good place to be in. It's almost like, we have human, what is it? Public relations managers and people who outwardly will deal with the public for you. Let's say you're in the media and you're scrutinized, your company's scrutinized or whatever. Well, you have someone who's going to be your voice for the company, right? You have someone who's going to, okay, be the buffer or the one to smooth things out. Well, what about internally? Is that human resources? I mean, what is that? I don't know. I kind of went all over the place with this, but it's very hard, very, very, very hard in the professional world when, like myself, like I started this video talking about ideas. I am full of ideas on how to better things that I'm amazed that half of this isn't in place. And I want to do things the right way, because I know when you're dealing with order of operations and chain of command and owners, there's so much will, like so many different people's personal wills going on, and there's so much, it could be ego in some people too, but who knows what it is, but there's so much going on. There is a delicate way to bring things up. People don't like what they can't control. Managers don't like what they can't control. So it would be safe for almost really safe for them to have a middle line player, like someone who sells just enough, but not so great that they have so many concerns and ideas that they're always trying to talk to me about it. But someone who's also not a failure, because then we can't keep them, on board. But someone who's just in the box, just playing in the box. Because if you're too unpredictable, nobody likes that. They don't like unpredictability. They don't like ideas. They don't like emotions. They don't know what to do with that. Good leaders will see that. Part of being a good leader is being able to recognize in your team and your employees who is strong at what. What are each person's strong points and not so strong points. If you have somebody who's like me, I can't work a regular clock in, clock out job. I'll lose my mind. I'll start trying to improve the clock-in machine. I'll start trying to improve everything, I can't help it. That's just how I am. I don't know what it's doing now at the place that I'm at. I had, when I came in, a very positive outlook on the company, and I want to keep it there because consistency is big for me. And I don't like the wishy-washy people. I don't like the unpredictability. I don't like when I see someone do really, really well and then really, really shitty. It's like, we got to find a happy middle ground or consistent ground. Do really well consistently. Have good communication consistently. Don't do it for a week or a month and then fall off. That kind of stuff's no good either. But I'm consistently this. I'm consistently wanting to help. I'm consistently wanting to change things. I'm consistently wanting to change things for the better, not just to uproot people and make them uncomfortable. I just want to make things better. I find it hard because when managers come in and say, okay, well, let's talk, they don't let you do a lot of talking. They kind of have this pre-planned little response they're going to give you. So no matter what the hell you would have said, it would have come down to their nice little 2 or 3 sentences to wrap it up and shut you up, right? I'm a little cynical right now. Forgive me. Just my thoughts. Young professional people, don't give up. If you have something that you've been working on and you want to start your own company, you're having a hard time in another company, start your own company then, damn it. If you're in an organization you love but there's just some things you don't like, well, let me tell you something. Every organization has its pros and its cons. I think the goal is to find the organization with enough pros that the cons are worth sticking around. I think I have that. Here. I just need a little more room for them to work with me and allow me to help more, allow me to support more. And we'd have a good thing going. But bottom line, like anything, whether it's a church or an organization, young professional people, there's no perfect one out there. They're not perfect. They all have strengths, different weaknesses. Try to find something you're happy at. Try to find some place that there's more pros than there are cons. And don't let it destroy you. Don't let it break your heart so much that you go home unhappy. Everything affects me, so it's very hard. I need to take that advice myself, but my advice for you as well is the same. Take it easy. At the end of the day, everyone at night, they all take off their clothes and their shoes the same way, and they all want rest, and they all want to win, and they all want to be with their kids. Understand all the moving parts in a business. Understand all the hearts and minds and lives in the business. Be patient. And good luck.